am Nikita Tracey and I'm here interviewing my sister Rista. Normally as an athlete, I'm the one being interviewed, and today I get the chance to ask the questions. The first question I have for her is, growing up as a young athlete in the community that you were in, how was it for you? Did you enjoy growing up in that community?
Well, yes, I really enjoyed it because myself and you was the star of the community, so yeah.
Okay, how were you as a child? Were you troublesome, quiet, what?
I think you should know that. Of course, I was troublesome. I was always playing around and I was the funny one.
When we were growing up, do you remember that incident where I stood in the middle of our mother's center dining table and it broke?
Most definitely. That's one of the most memorable moments growing up with you. I mean, it was crazy because she actually stood up in the middle of the glass table fixing a TV, and the center table broke and she was in the middle and she didn't even get one scrape. And we all had to stay out that night up until 3 a.m. in the morning just to escape the beating. So yeah, that was one of the most memorable moments growing up with you.
Yes, and I also, do you remember that it was another incident where I did something wrong, and it was a school morning and I ran from my mother and she ran me down. Do you remember that one?
Most definitely. I mean, we were getting ready for school and she was supposed to do the dishes and she didn't do the dishes. And so my mom, and it was getting really, really late for school. So, of course, my mom, she was the champion girl for Claude McKay High School. So she's really, really fast. She ran her down in the rain and she did catch her.
You didn't really love track and field. And when I passed GSAT to go to Edwin Allen, and then you started to see, oh, I was doing good, going to champs and stuff, how did that motivate you?
Well, of course, as I said in an interview before now, I think some of you guys would have seen where I think it said something about jealousy or something of that sort. Growing up, I never really liked track and field, but when my sister passed for Edwin Allen and I see she flying out every time, I'm like, oh, I want to go and play too. And I'm from a poor family background, so of course my mother can't really afford to fly us out or probably to even carry me to get a visa or whatever. So that motivated me. I use track and field as a vehicle to travel to different countries, and of course my sister motivated me because like my first year at Edwin Allen, when I went to Edwin Allen, I mean I joined the track team, but I was like, no, I can't do this. And you know, in high school where they're saying like, oh girl, don't do tracks make you tough and tracks make you this and just make you that. I'm like, me not do no tracks, me a hot girl and all these things. So I used to like, after the first week of training, I was so sore, my muscles were so sore and all, and I'm like, I'm not doing this, I'm stopping, and I stopped. And then Mr. Dyke was like, Nikita, Rista is your sister? And she's like, yes. And Mr. Dyke used to come to my classroom and said, make sure you're at training and whatever. But for me, as the bell ring, I run gone down the hill, gone straight home. I never really liked track and field.
When did you really get to like it and say, okay, I'm going to do this seriously?
Well, I think it was class 2. I think it was class 2 when I get into competition where, well, firstly, I must say I used to do high jump. Most people don't know that. I used to do long jump. Most people don't know that. And I wasn't excelling in those events. And so one day Mr. Dye came to me and said, I wanted to try the 800 because you're very tall and I think you will do well at it. And I said, okay, I'm going to try. And and I trained with the girls and I was doing very well. And I went to a meet and I actually ran my first 800-meter time was 2 minutes 30 seconds. And then after that now I started doing well, and so the more I do well is the more I get to like it. And then now class 2 where competition starts to get tight and all, so I'm like okay, and I used to love the competition, so that's where I get to like it.